What's poppin', everybody? Welcome back to the mini bar. It's your girl Henny, and I'm about to pour plenty of that spiked coffee that y'all love to sip on. So if you're new here, please be sure to like, comment, and of course subscribe. Click the notification bell, select all, so that you get notified whenever I do a video. And if you are a returning Mob Down Henny Gang member, yeah. Now let's get up into all of this hot Henny, since Henny's been on vacay. So if you are over here and you are on the IG, then you know that I have already begun to give y'all my spill on the spiked coffee. But if you are on YouTube, you are catching an IG rewind, as this will be uploaded as your spiked coffee for the day. But if you would like to catch the spiked coffee live and direct, no matter which way I give it to you, whether it be on YouTube or it be on Instagram, you make sure that you are following on both platforms, because you never know where the spiked coffee is going to be live at and where it's going to be piping hot. Anyway, as I was telling everybody that was here in the IG live, we have had a lot going on in these internet streets as I've been on vacay, and I'm still on vacay, okay? Still taking a vacay away. But your girl is still lurking and looking in these streets, finding out what's going on and keeping up with all of the hot Henny while I'm away. So while we've been away, let's start off with this. As I was saying before I started the intro. Wack and Luce Ashley. We're just gonna call him Ashley, because he's not even the real Loose Cannon, and we've already known that for a while now. So the fake Loose Cannon and Wack 100, I called him Loose Cannon, whatever. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Anyway, they have been dominating the internet with all of the things that they have going on with their back and forth. This one is snitching, that one is snitching, got this one recorded, got that recorded, I've never recorded this one, oh this, that, and the third, he's my kid's godfather, I'm not the godfather. All of this has been going on, right? And child, everybody has oversaturated my timeline. I don't know about your timeline, but my timeline is a eclectic selection of things, because you got your gangster stuff, you got your Chrisean stuff, you got your spiritual stuff, you got your Bible stuff, because yes, your girl is well-rounded. You got your esoteric things, and you've got your black history and culture, and it's a smorgasbord of things. But what I have been seeing each time I have gone onto my YouTube and I have scrolled is everything Wack 100 Loose Cannon, Wack 100 Loose Cannon, Wack 100 Loose Cannon, Wack 100 Loose Cannon. And I'm over talking about this, because at the end of the day, if you missed it, I was live with the YouTube streets. Shout out to Dogface, Juice, Public Figure Boogie, and Detroit Gossip. I was over there with them on Saturday, and we were discussing a lot of the trending topics. That is something that I am looking to do with them at least once a week. Do that with them, jump on a podcast. Don't know when it's going to be, but just jump on a podcast with them once a week and chop it up with them on trending topics. And this is one of the discussions that we had. And in our discussion, we were discussing how Wack likes to pick people that are intellectually inferior to him. Now, he does seem to be moving in an operation or an energy of the 48 laws of power, but he knows who he can play those 48 laws of power with and who he cannot. Okay, he knows who he can get away with doing certain things and who he cannot. So this includes infiltration of certain circles and doing all types of stuff. It's been said that No Jumper is supposedly being chased out of LA. The reason why it's being chased out of LA is because Lush, in one of his alleged, I don't know, I wasn't there, I'm just going off of what we heard, they said it, I'm repeating it and bringing it back to you. Allegedly, Lush was under the influence of a illegal substance, and Lush invited some folks up there, and one of the folks that he invited up there happened to be Travis Ford. Now, if that name sounds familiar to you, it's because Travis Ford was one of the gentleman's names. Don't do it. Don't do it. Was one of the gentleman's names that was mentioned when the No Jumper brawl happened. Remember? Travis and Mozzie and Dosh Network and all of that? Right. Okay. So that's where Travis Ford comes into play at. Travis went up there, and according to Adam, Lush didn't let anybody know that he had invited Travis up there, and the set that he's from, and another set up there. This is, child, listen. At this point in time, you have to forgive me because it's all blurring together. But anywho, so apparently, you know, Adam didn't know that they were invited up there because Lush wasn't even there. Lush was telling him that he was on his way to the studio. While he was on his way to the studio, the police get called. Now, it's being alleged that Wack called the police, but I don't know because I didn't hear no recording or nothing, so I don't know. This is what they saying, all right? This is a they said, and I'm repeating type of section right here. So, they went back, and they graffitied up the no jumper, or they either did it the same day. Not quite sure on that detail. I'll get back to y'all on that. But it was being said that no jumper can no longer be in LA. Now, my thing is, if that be the case, then here comes Wack with his saving grace into Super Save a Hoe Adam and no jumper. And of course, him doing that is going to put him in another position of playing leverage with Adam. Adam, you really don't realize what's happening to you here. And I'm sitting back hoping that my mind is just that suspicious and I've gone too far and given too much credit to Wack. But I really feel like he is trying to pull Adam out, trick him out of his position. I really feel that way. I felt that way since the no jumper brawl. I've listened to how he says to Adam, I've done this and I've done that and I've done that. So you know how Wack works. When I do something for you, you got to eventually come back and do something for me, or else I'm going to tear your whole shit down. And that's what it's looking like is happening. That he is tearing his whole shit down and making it to where Adam gets backed into a position to where he ends up having no choice but to give Wack whatever it is that he wants. Now, what is it that you think he wants? I think he wants total domination. He wants total domination of the internet. Clubhouse does not pay unless he has some type of partnership or something going on with them that we don't know about. Clubhouse is not a monetized platform, but that seems to be where he reigns king supreme. When he comes over here to these YouTube streets, I'm a newcomer to the internet. Wack has been out here for years, and I get better numbers and views than Wack does. And the only reason why my numbers and views be low is because of my consistency. Okay, and that's what I'm working on. While I'm on vacation, I'm working a schedule that will allow me to be consistent with my craft as well as consistent in my life with the things that I need to do for me and mine. But that's neither here nor there. At the end of the day, he should be further along, have more views, more monetization, and the whole 9 yards than I do on YouTube, but even I beat him. Go picture that. And I've been in this game for a little over a year. Anyway, if he can get on the platforms like No Jumper, he gets on Vlad. Anytime something happens, he's on Vlad TV. So Wack wants that. No Jumper already has hella subscribers and an audience that watches. That's what Wack needs to be able to elevate his narratives and push them out to the world. So I feel like, Adam, he's coming for your platform and you're sitting back and you're allowing him the more you stay in this situation with him. Now, I don't know what your contracts look like, but I would think that if someone is putting your business in jeopardy and they no longer serve a positive purpose to your business, that you should be able to have a conversation with your lawyer and get up out of that said contract and move on with life. Handle it legally. Speaking of handling things legally, I have a Jared Milgram update. Remember the RICO case with Jared Milgram where Wack bullied this kid and put police on him and all that? Remember the first RICO that happened? Well, it looks like Jared had filed for a default judgment, but then Ray J's lawyers came back with an opposition, so now they're in litigation with that case. But the funny thing is, I'm being told that Wack is trying to make it to where he is impossible to be served. However, Jared has proof that he has served Wack and everybody involved. So that case is now in litigations where they are trying to negotiate and go through mediation and all types of stuff for this case. So again, if this case was not something that was actually solidified, something that you could stand on, valid, then there wouldn't be, this process would not be going on. Okay, so clearly Jared has a case. Jared has a lot of proof to back up what his claims are against Ray J and Wack. And a lot of the behaviors that were displayed in that civil RICO actually should be criminal charges. And I say that because it's the truth. All of these cases that he has, both of these civil RICOs at least, have criminal activity in them that should result in some type of charges. But we'll see how that plays out, won't we? Anyway, I just feel like the more we talk about Wack and try to bring awareness to him or point out all of his flaws and lies, the more he keeps growing, the more he keeps going. You know, that whole thing with Blueface that he, you know, impressed upon Chrisean and anybody that signs up for his program, that all press is good press because it's still press that speaks your name. That's the game that Wack plays. He doesn't care if we're talking shit about him. He doesn't care about any of that, because all he cares about is the fact that when you Google his name and how much he gets searched, that means he's got an algorithm. And the more we give him room to move and grow, the bigger he becomes in the algorithm. He's made it so much so. Sorry. He's made it into the algorithm so deep that people have whole channels dedicated to just Wack 100 content. And guess what? If anything were to happen with Wack, yes, they would still have content, but it would get dry, because that's the only thing that you're talking about. So some people actually have made themselves dependent on the name Wack 100 in order for them to get clicks, likes, and views. And the sad part about it is all of that works in his favor. I remember I was on someone's YouTube live and Wack was on the phone. He had called in and he said to him, "You work for me. Every time you say my name, you work for me because it runs me up." Something to that effect. I'm paraphrasing him, but that's what he said. And I was like, he's absolutely right. He's giving y'all the playbook, telling y'all that y'all are running me up. Y'all got to look at the power that we hold as content creators and consumers of content, viewers of content, lovers of content, whatever you are, a pastime watcher of content. Y'all have to realize that we all hold power in who goes up in the algorithm and who does not. And we keep giving Wack platforms. We keep giving Wack a name, an algorithm, and he just keeps going up, 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 and up. I guarantee you that if everyone were to agree to not discuss Wack, not put Wack in a thumbnail, not put Wack in a title for about a week, you would see a shift in the algorithm. And honestly, I would say I'm willing to go 30 days, a 30-day detox from Wack content. But ain't nobody going to be willing to do it. A 30-day detox from Wack would damage his algorithm. That's what would have to happen. You don't put him on your thumbnail. You don't put him in the title. You can talk briefly about him, but don't make him the focus of your content. Restructure how you handle Wack. Handle him as just a passing story if you just have to talk about him, and talk about other things. Ooh, sorry, Biddy. Or even use his name to catapult you to a whole different sector. Like, keep your name going in the algorithm. 30-day Wack fast. Exactly. That's what we need. But let's see if other content creators would be willing to jump on board with the 30-day Wack fast and see how that affects him monetarily, vocally. If nobody tuned in to anything that's had Wack's name on it, if nobody posted about him, everybody. That means you don't watch no content that has his name in it. You don't watch no content that has his face on the thumbnail. You don't make him the center and focus of content. You don't tune into the Adam and Wack show for 4 Sundays. You find something else to watch, find something else to do. You don't cover him. You cover something else that's going on out here that could be important. And that would definitely strike a blow to him. But it's just like when you tell people, we should stop shopping over here or take your money back from going over here. When we're told how the game goes, we don't often do it as a people. And I say we because I know it was hard as hell for me to not go to Walmart. I could stay away from Target. because Tarjay be getting my money, okay? But when I go into Walmart, I don't mind giving them my money. I could go into Tarjay with $100 and go into Walmart with $100, and I'll come out with more stuff from Walmart than I will from Tarjay. Just saying. But anyway, I'm willing to go on a 30-day whack fast. But if nobody's going to join me, then I'm just one voice. It takes more than one to make an impact. Anywho, speaking of making an impact, so I posted in my story post here on IG about a father who unalived a sheriff's deputy. Now, I don't know if y'all know about that story, and I do have the video, so I am going to make a video of it. But the story goes like this. This happened out in Ohio, and the father's 18-year-old son was in a stolen vehicle. There was four people in the stolen vehicle. And Henny, they're not going to join. I know they're not going to join me on a whack fast. First of all, it's me saying it, and I'm a woman. And you already know my voice gets drowned out in this sector, but a lot of people watch my content or hear about things that I have said or done. And so, you know, my name is out there, but it is what it is. I'm not going to stress myself. All I'm going to do is do it for those of y'all. I'm doing it for those of y'all that tune in to be over here with me. Sorry, Bentley. So now, the story goes like this. The police got a phone call that there were 4 guys in a stolen vehicle. When they arrive, the 4 guys jump out of the vehicle. One of them goes running. Of course, you know, the typical thing. They say that this man had the kid had a, and the officer claims that he was pointing it at him, and so he pew pew and unalived the kid. Well, the next day, that same deputy that unalived that young man, he was standing out on traffic control at a corner for a graduation, and the father of the young man who was unalived seen this deputy and mauled him down in his car. The deputy was rushed off to the hospital, and he eventually transitioned on. Now, the father is in custody, and my question is, are we going to get the truth? Thank you. Are we going to get the truth? First of all, I want to acknowledge your comment, your previous comment. You said, Henny, you know Wack's scared of you. I don't know what Wack is scared of me for. Let me say that before I jump back into this. I don't know what he's scared of me for, but I've already said what I had to say when it came down to him. All he has to do is let it be known. Were you behind those threats to my child? I don't give a damn how old my son is. That's still my kid. You understand? All he has to do, if you didn't put those threats out there against my son, if you had nothing to do with what that person said on behalf of you, then denounce it. You don't even have to apologize to me. Because I know for an egotistical man like him, an apology is not going to come. I'm not even asking him to take back anything that he did say when he indirectly was speaking about me. I'm not even asking you to denounce the fact that you was talking about having people run down on me and do something to me because I'm in New York. Everybody knew I was in New York. I didn't hide that. Everybody knew I lived in Yonkers. I didn't hide that. That's a fun fact. Everybody knew that. I'm a content creator. I expect you to make threats and talk about me and all that other stuff that you do. I expect that. But you brought my son, part of my family, into this. And I've never brought his family into any of this. Let alone threaten bodily harm and unaliving on anyone near him. The worst I've said is somebody needs to wire Wack's jaw. That's the worst thing that I have said. I've never said somebody need to pop his top, somebody need to throw him in the trunk. I've never even done that to him. But I get it. But when you brought my kid into it, that took this to a different level. So what are you scared of? All you have to say, if you didn't have nothing to do with what that person said, is I ain't tell that person to say such and such. I've never said nothing about her kid. I would never say nothing about her kid. That lady don't even talk about my kid. That's it. Then maybe I'll fall back a little bit. Because I had fell back off of Wack for a while. Y'all remember I had stopped talking about him for a minute. But anyway, if he's scared, then he's scared because he can't bring himself to at least say that he didn't threaten my kid. Or have that person say that. Or was privy to what that person was saying. But anyway, let's get back into the story. Now, back to this comment where he said, yet he shot him in the back. This is what I'm talking about. Are we going to get the truth? Because I'd love to know how, if someone is pointing up at you, do they end up catching one in the back? Bentley. Oh, God. Oh, y'all. I don't know where he went to. Oh, no. Bentley. He took a poop in the neighbor's yard, y'all. Bentley, we don't go in the neighbor's yard. Now I got to go over there and get it. Come on. Migo. Migo. Here we go. Now y'all know Migo is the runaway dog. Migo. Bentley. No. Bentley. Ah! Migo. Come on, Bentley. Yeah, you thought you was going to show him how to run away, huh? Come on, Migo. Uh-huh. And Bentley going to open this door. He going to open the door and then go out and y'all better not be laughing. Bentley and Migo showing off this morning. Girl. You can't open it now. I locked it. And he's a big dog. Bentley is a big boy. Bentley. I don't know if y'all saw his little big head. All right. Where was? Oh, hey. Hi, Bentley. Oh, y'all see him? Hi, Bentley. Say hi, people. Hi, Bentley Wendy. Hi. Okay. Get down. Get it. Girl, push the doggone door. Just did like this. Push the door open. Yeah, you see, he huge. Compared to Migo. And you saw Migo. Migo Pigo. I don't think they're going to be able to see you if you stand up here. What? Girl. Bentley gonna have Migo back out there. He said, come on, bro, I got us. Men, listen. But see, Migo trying to get him to learn how to run away with him, because Migo will run away, go walk himself, and then come back like he did something great. Not realizing he just put himself in danger to be picked up by the dog catcher and hit by a car. But see, the crazy thing is, Bentley won't leave the driveway. Even if I go to take him for a walk, he's going to fight me. Girl, I don't even know how much he weighs, but he's huge. He's huge. He be knocking me around, okay? Knocking everybody around. But anyway, back to what we was talking about. So, I know I'm probably going to catch some flack for what I'm about to say, but I just feel like even swap don't make no swindle. You changed my family's life. I changed your family's life. Now, I do not advocate violence or bullying or any of that stuff, but I'm just saying, after watching, how many times are we going to watch young men be unalived and no justice gets served? Young women be unalived and no justice gets served. I couldn't imagine losing any of my children and keeping my sanity. So in my story post, I asked, justified or not? Because I think as a society, we've got to start looking at a lot of this stuff differently. Would you say that this father, temporary insanity? Officers are trained to shoot and unalive most of the time. They're taught, and I say that because they're taught where to hit somebody to take them down. So you have a kid jumping out of a stolen vehicle with his back turned to you that gets popped. And I'm reading your comments and I'm seeing what y'all are saying, and it's sad that the collective is saying cover up. It's sad. I don't wish that on no parent. And yeah, I'm going to get a little deep a little bit this morning, and I'm going to go as far as to say this and put this out there, and we all know this. But when you have children of color living in America, the stress that you have on you when they are out on their own is unbearable. You have a black son, you have to teach him things differently. How to interact with the police. How to engage with them. You got to teach them how to talk to them. Because unfortunately, a simple traffic stop could be the last traffic stop that your child has. That's what's so crazy. And you could say, well, you need to teach your kids. What do you say to those parents who do teach their kids, who do their best to bring them up in ways to be a law-abiding citizen, who try to set their kids up for success, but they get out here into this world, and unfortunately for them, one wrong move, one wrong mistake can ruin their whole life. Meanwhile, you have look at who is up there with the pen, because I don't want to say his name, with the pen. A felon. He's a felon. And look at the position of power that he's in. The rules are not the same. Oh, you want to play, Bentley? But I'm live. He wants to play, y'all. Migo, go your behind, lay down. You wasn't thinking about playing. He gets so damn jealous, girl. Wait a minute. I'm gonna be pulled on camera in a minute. Bentley, I ain't fooling with you right now. So, why did my brother tell me on Saturday that he had gotten pulled over by a cop because they made eye connection at the red light? This is my youngest brother, and now I'm now the mother of the family. Jeez, see, this is crazy. But definitely I want to keep up with this, find out what the find out is, and what the outcome is going to be. This is just the reality of the situation, child. Out here in Oakland, they are recruiting on billboards, 6 months training, and then put them on the streets. How is that? And you know what the crazy part is? It'll be somebody that comes from the suburbs, does that 6 month training, and be dropped right in the middle of the hood. They'll drop them right in the middle of the hood. And there'll be more situations like this going on. Because I'm going to tell you something. Somebody from the suburbs coming into the hood, definitely scared. Definitely paranoid. Definitely going to shoot. 6 months is not enough time for training. That's not enough time for training. These psychological profiles and all of that stuff that they do on people, I don't think it's enough. When you're putting somebody in a position of power where they are to govern over people, to serve and protect, that's what they're supposed to do. Serve and protect. Not unalive. The new rope is the... Think about that. Anyway, in other news, let's get into something a little more lighter. In other news, Chrisean is out in Miami and she's having a grand old time. She linked up with AP the jeweler, and he gifted her some beautiful pieces of jewelry. He did discuss with her about making her own jewelry line. Now that's something that I would be here for, because that is something that could be generational wealth. And I would love to see that. That's something that I haven't heard no other rapper, no other influencer, nobody come up with, is their own jewelry line. And I know that there are people out there that would buy that jewelry line, even though we had somebody down in the comments being all dysfunctional and minion-like, and, you know, talking about ain't nobody gonna buy it. Yes, they will. You seem to forget. Chrisean still has a very solid fan base out here. She very much does. The proof is in my numbers. She still has a fan base out here. She's still on her path, on her journey. The more she goes up, the more she comes out, and the more projects she gets involved with, the more she goes up. Hell, I would buy it, especially if it included that necklace that she had with the crosses. That was dope, and so was her bracelets. I like those bracelets. She wasn't out there on any type of timing. She was enjoying herself. She was having a good time out there. There was a situation that went down with DJ Sky's boyfriend and his ex-girlfriend. Apparently they ran into one another, and she alleges that he hit her and it turned into a thing. Now, what I can tell you from watching the social media posts, this young lady, even though he is with Sky, seems to have on occasion had a lot to say. Now, I didn't cover what she was saying because I don't want to give any of that any time or attention, to draw attention to a situation where we really didn't know very much about it, because he wasn't speaking out. She was the only one speaking out, so I didn't really catch all of it. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, but she has done a couple of story posts and things of that nature. But it seems like these two did not have a good breakup. It seems like it may have not, I don't know, been a perfect fit. And now we have this situation that happened. I will be doing my thug thizzle on that. But outside of that situation, it it looks like Sky and Chrisean are really having fun. And the reason Chrisean went down there was for the track event for the Olympics. So she came down here to have fun, and that's what she's doing. I know, you know, she was at a hosting with DJ Sky last night, and the hosting ended with them parking lot pimping. Now, if you don't know anything about being in the South, wherever you are, when an event lets out, it don't matter if it's the club, it don't matter if it's the juice bar, it don't matter if it's a baby shower, a bar mitzvah, whatever. The people's going to gather in the parking lot, and the party going to continue on. That party could have ended at 8 o'clock on the inside, but on the outside, the parking lot's still jumping till about 2, 3, 4 in the morning. That be the after party in the parking lot. Now, I don't know. That's how it was when I used to go out clubbing out here. And is it still that way? Let me know. Because I know for me, personally, if I go out somewhere, I'm not even staying till it closes. You lucky if you get a good hour or 2 out of me. And then I'm going home. Thank you for the amen and hallelujah that is a fact. Chrisean is having a time, and I love that. Yes, I was happy to see her with Thugger. Yes, she was with Thugger. Yeah, that's Migo. Bentley is down here. What are you chewing on? Bentley? Oh, he's chewing on his rope. That parking lot party be better than the inside party. You feel me? But yes, she met up with Young Thug. She's just, listen. She's doing what she should be doing. Young Thug is Thugger. Thugger. Blue is going to lose his mind. Him and that mother. Well, we'll see what Carzilla got to say today. Well, she shouldn't have nothing to say after that 304 brigade that her son had out here. And they still trying to do little things. Please. Yes, networking at its finest, all right? She's out here doing what she should be doing. She said, I tried it. I tried it your way. Now I'm going to have it my way. And her way is out here networking, making connections, meeting people, doing her thing. She's 25 years old. She should be having fun. And people out here want to be so concerned about what she got going on. Bet you ain't even washed your cooter cat clean properly, or even washed a load of laundry. You probably don't even wash all your clothes. You probably just take a couple clothes out. Do I look? I'm not joking. I'm so serious. You probably take a couple piece of items out. Be out here throwing new fresh clothes on a dirty body. You know, all that trifling stuff. They big time hating, mad that Stewie can't get. Now, see, why you put that in the comments? You know I don't call that girl that. Can't be in the same room as Chrisean now saying she looking like a fan groupie around the celebs. How is she looking like a fan or a groupie around the celebs when the celebs are trying to be next to her, or they're acknowledging her? Goofy. There are ways to be saved and have fun without compromising your salvation, people. That part. They make me sick. Jesus was at parties. He went to that wedding party. Every time he came to town, it was a party and a celebration. They better, look, leave the vibe alone. She's told y'all a long time ago, it was a vibe all the time. And she is that. That's why Blue ain't really... Let me shut up. I ain't getting ready to get into that. But anyway. Now listen, y'all. If you are a part of the Patreon, I had a surprise for y'all. It did end up coming in the form of 2 parts. Because of what happened. With my Patreon acting up. If you missed it, I will today go and replay what was played uninterrupted and take the other 2 videos down so that you can watch it at your leisure whenever you want to. But definitely good, definitely worth watching. But we did have our Patreon live. So if you missed it, go catch up. Outside of that, your girl is just chilling, working on some things, my schedule mostly, on how I can fit things in, what I'm doing on Mondays, what I'm doing on Tuesdays. And once that is something I see as being workable for me, I'm definitely back at it. But anyway, y'all stay on the lookout for new things that are coming and things to remain the same. Like Spike Coffee in the Morning will remain the same. But there'll be new things. Media Showdown is coming back. Media Showdown is coming back. Y'all love the showdown. Y'all want the showdown. Everybody is getting a break right now because everybody's been going hard. So it's kind of light work right now. But we will be back swinging and in full motion. I want to say give us till Monday to get everything back into the motion of things. But I'll still be popping here and there, and we'll still be putting content out here and there. In the meantime, I will be trying things out. Hey. Bentley, what are you doing? You just got this. Look at what he doing. Tearing the damn toy up. You tearing it up. How you gonna play with it if you tearing it up? Yeah, see, you want to play tug of war, but it's gonna be broken. Look, you a little too close to my hand, sir. What we doing? What do you think about Wack and Luce? I feel like they're oversaturated. I think they're oversaturated. No, I did not see that her Twitter is gone. Hey, stop tearing it up. You ain't gonna have no toys. Anyway, I will get back to y'all a little later on. Let me continue on. It's 11 o'clock. I need to get this video edited and up and out for y'all for Spike Coffee in the Morning. But I love y'all. Remember that love is always love, and to vibe high so that the bullshit don't stick. And I will see y'all in the next video. And yes, I know, the nails. I'm letting my nails breathe just a little bit and then they'll be back. But I love y'all. I'll see y'all later. Peace, everybody.